Hi, I'm Mike with MyBikeOnline. In this video segment, I'll be showing you how to change a flat tire on a mountain bike. The tools that we'll need to do this are a 15mm socket or open-end wrench, a Phillips screwdriver, a set of tire levers, a bike pump, and a spare tube. Now, the first thing that we need to do is open the brake caliper. To do this, we'll squeeze the brake arms together with one hand while removing the brake noodle from the retainer with the other. And the brakes fall open. Second thing we need to do is shift the bike into the highest gear. If your bike doesn't have a shift indicator, this will put the chain on the smallest cog in the back. This will make it easier to get the wheel out now and easier to put it back in when we're done. Now we can take the wheel out by loosening the axle nuts. Now, if your wheel is not already deflated, you can take the valve cap off and deflate it by depressing the pin in the middle of the valve stem with a Phillips screwdriver. Now, we'll take a moment to wiggle the tire to make sure that it isn't stuck to the rim. And now we're ready to take it off. We're going to start opposite the valve stem, where the tire will be the loosest. And we'll begin by inserting a tire lever under the tire, hooking it, pulling it down, and hooking the tire lever to a spoke. Move over 2 spokes and repeat this process. Now I can remove the first tire lever, move down another 2 spokes, and you'll see that at this point the tire has become loose enough I can slide the tire lever all the way around, removing one edge of the tire from the rim. Now we can remove the tube from the tire by pushing the valve stem back up into the rim and pulling the old tube out. We now remove the rest of the tire from the rim. And at this point, it's a good idea to check the tire to make sure that there aren't any obstructions still in the tire. We can do this by running a clean rag through the inside of the tire. If there's anything stuck in the tire, the rag will hook on it. But this tire looks good. Now it's time to open our new tube. Before we put the tube back in the tire, we need to inflate it slightly. Press the pump onto the tube, lock it in, and we're ready to inflate it. If your tire has a label, the label always goes on the right-hand side of the bike, which will be the same side that has the cogs in the back. This is an easy way to make sure your tire is facing the right direction. Now, we insert the valve stem back through the rim, and then press one side of the tire back onto the rim. Now we can stuff the tube into the tire. With the tube inside the tire, we can now press the second side of the tire back onto the rim. It should go on quite easily now. If it gives you difficulty, you can use a tire lever to pry it back on, but be careful not to pinch the tube underneath the tire lever. Now we're ready to inflate the tire. We're going to inflate it partially. We want the tire to be firm and pressed against the rim, but not inflated all the way. And give the tire a quick spin. What we're looking for are any hops in the tire. If you do see the tire hopping up and down like this, it means the tire isn't seated properly on the rim. In which case you should deflate the tire, wiggle it back down into the rim, and then reinflate. Now inflate the tire to the recommended pressure rating. Now it's time to put the wheel back in the bike. To do this, we'll pull the derailleur down with one finger and line the chain up with the smallest cog that we had the chain set on before. The wheel should line up with the dropouts and pull it up into the bike. Now it's time to tighten the axle nuts. Making sure that the wheel is straight in the frame, we begin tightening the axle nuts. Now we need to reconnect the brake, so once again we'll squeeze both brake arms together with one hand, while replacing the noodle in the retainer with the other. And that's it. You're ready to ride. For more information on bike repairs, visit mybikeonline.com.